Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here coming at you with another video. Today we're going to do another update video on our cuttings that we took 10 days ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull a couple of those cuttings out of our tray. We're going to clean off the stems. We're going to look and see if we have callus formation or if we have roots at this point and kind of see really how long it takes to go from cutting to rooted cutting. Okay, so that's from when we dip it in hormone, how many days until we have root formation. So let's get you over here to the table. We'll take a couple of cuttings out, we'll clean them up, and we'll take a look. All right, so we've got our cuttings here and taking a look at these. Looks like it is time for us to go ahead and put a little bit of fertilizer in our tray. So we have a little interveinal chlorosis going on, which is telling me that the cuttings are hungry. So we're going to have to do some work there to make sure that they are getting fed and they continue to grow as we expect. The other thing you'll notice is we do have them in pretty intense light, which is going to keep our internodal spaces very, very short. So we don't have a lot of length in between each set of leaves. So the internodal space is very, very short. We do also have a couple of blossoms that have opened up, so we do want to remove those. Make sure that they're not continuing to take away from the energy of that cutting. And so we'll remove that. And I think the one that we worked on was somewhere over in here. So we'll take that guy out and we'll take the friend next to him and see where we're at. Actually, I think we just need one at this point, looking at what we got there. Okay, we'll go ahead and close this up, keep the humidity up. And look at that. So this is our cutting. So it's been 10 days. So last we were looking at it, the callus was just beginning to form, and look what we've got here. We actually have root formation. So with this is a pretty weak root ball. I'm trying to be very careful not to damage these roots because they're actively growing. And it looks like they are actually coming out on all sides of the plug. So were I to take this and clean off the soil, which we might as well do for science. Yeah, let's make sure you're seeing all that. Let's get you nice and close. So you can focus on that. Yeah, there you go. There is that nice bright root formation. Let's go ahead and clean this off and take a look at it. And we'll see how many roots are actually there. So I'm going to use a gentle spray bottle to try to loosen up that soil. And that's going to free that soil up from that plug. And it's going to do minimal damage to those roots. Now, I think some of this material, the roots have grown through it, so it's going to be very difficult to get it all out. Okay. So I'll let you see that. All right. Let's get a little bit of dark paper so you can see a little contrast there. So when we're looking at this cutting, you can see that we have a lot of these nice, really bright roots. So the roots are a good color. They're a bright, crisp white, which is what we want to see in petunias. And with the roots, you're going to see that the formation of these roots will come right along in here. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that it's not just coming out where the node is. The roots are actually coming from all along the stem. So right here is above the stem, or above the node, but we've got, or excuse me, it's below the node's right here, but we've got root formation all the way along the stem. It's not just coming out on the callus, so this callus, let's let you see that. This callus is right here, that's the darker colored tissue, so that's where it's scarred across the top, and it's made sure that that end of that stem is secure. But there you go, so in 10 days, we have all of these wonderful roots forming. So we should have actually taken a peek a couple of days ago, but we let this go a few more days. So that's 10 days worth of growth on there. And with these cuttings, again, they can root anywhere along that stem, anywhere where it is below. They can root anywhere along the stem and anywhere where it's below the soil surface and we have a high amount of moisture. That'll cause root nodule formation. And then that root nodule formation, eventually those break through the epithelial cells of the plant, and then they begin growing the roots. So those are nice. They're You know, some of them are, that's probably close to a 1.75 inches, maybe almost 2 inches on that side. And then we've got some 1/4 inch roots, and then we've got some 1 inch roots. But this is really well rooted for a cutting. With these, I would probably give them another week in the tray because they're not quite ready to be in a pot all by themselves. So if we did that and we tried to pull these plugs out of this tray, most likely we're going to tear and rip a lot of these roots. We want them to really be holding all of that soil in that plug together nice and tight. So what we're going to do is we'll take a peek at these again, most likely in about 3 or 4 days. We'll take a look and see how far these roots have gone and how much of those are along the outside of the plug. So let's pull one more out so we can take a comparison to see what they're looking like. And there is what one of the plugs looks like without the soil removed. So you can see these roots are coming out from here and they're heading down. Looks like there's about 4 or 5 roots in that mass there, and then there's more that are all around this soil. And they're searching out nutrients and they're searching out water. But that is what we've got for plugs for 10 days. So those of you that are going through and making your own plugs, 10 days for petunias is the absolute minimum before I would actually be handling the plugs. This is barely holding onto that soil and they're really fragile. We want to get a lot more roots in there before we start doing any work with it. But that's what you're going to be looking like. So let's go ahead and put this guy back in. And then I'll take care of this guy, give him some new potting soil, and put him back in his plug tray. Or I may just take him out and put him in a pot right now and get him healed in so that he's good to go, and I don't have to worry about trying to find soil to fit back in the plug tray. But anyway, I hope you're learning something with this and you're seeing how these are growing and getting an idea really how your plugs are going to react. And definitely what I'm going to do next is we're going to take care of this interveinal chlorosis. We're going to give it a little bit of fertilizer so that this has more nutrients to go ahead and grow and form a bigger plant. One of the things that I think is a great part of this, so we're going to take a look at this tray. So looking at the tray, all the plugs are healthy and happy. I actually don't see any of them that we've lost. Yeah, all of them seem to be here, other than the one that we took out right there. All the rest of them are here and they're intact. And we went from 5, maybe what was it, 10 plants. I think we took cuttings off of 10 plants, and now we have 102 in this tray. So we are doing really well. It's a real quick, easy way to multiply your cuttings and multiply your plants. You just need a little bit of rooting hormone, a seed tray, potting media, one of the humidity covers, and a good LED grow light, and you can have cuttings of your own. So there you go. There is root progress from cutting to rooted plug. So about 10 days until you've got roots showing through the outside and holding that root ball and that mass of potting soil together. It's really kind of easy. It's quick. Once you learn how to do it, you should be highly successful with it. Just the keys to that is making sure there's no leaves underground. We're getting a good clean cutting and we're keeping them fairly small. We're not giving it a large amount of tissue that it then has to take care of. Also remember, remove the blooms prior to planting those and keep your cuttings nice and small, about the size that I showed there. That is something that will really kind of give you that higher success there, giving something that's nice and healthy. Anyway, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.